Good day, folks. This is the Teflon Man. Today I'm going to give you a basic breakdown on expert authority. Now, in this time of, I would say, scientific tyranny, we experience experts in all walks of life that are, well, should I say, wrong more often than they are correct. Which, if you're an expert, it would be better to just say you don't know, or let's say be able to reason through something to give multiple conclusions to any given answer. This is something that I would say is more of a philosophy, more of you're working through, but currently all these things have fallen short, such as all these different medical experts forcing really their opinion down our throats. Be it a model, be it, prior data which is completely irrelevant to what's going on, or that they're using evidence that is not public at all. So, how can you believe these people? The thing is I'm going to break down what expert authority really is, and this way you can make your own mind up when these people talk and say, I'm an expert in X, Y, and Z. I'm an expert in this. I know so much about this. Well, okay, you can know a lot about something and just be a complete idiot, too. It's an age-old saying where those who fail teach. So, what does that mean, exactly? It means that many people, they study their entire lifetime, and because they're a failure at life, they go to a college and then they become a professor. That's exactly what that means. They are the experts, and a lot of times these are the people to whom we're gaining all of these weird restrictions and or prophecies that we live on. Before I begin, just to tell you that I will not be swearing at all. And my wife is cooking in the background, so I apologize for any strange noises. Without further ado, expert opinion can be wrong. We all know that. It is right a lot of the time, but sometimes we cannot understand the reasons why experts believe what they do. There's also times when experts do not agree with each other. There are even times when experts can do things they do not know or speak of areas they have not studied. We often view experts as being more intelligent or smarter than us. This is incorrect. The only way that experts are different from us is by knowing more than we do about something. Any given one thing can make someone an expert. Experts is just a name we give people who know more than we do about a subject. So an expert in practicing medicine is a doctor, while an expert in law is a lawyer. Similarly, an expert in science is a scientist, and an expert in philosophy is a philosopher. I have my own objections to all these things that they're suggesting. I don't believe anyone who knows a lot about science is a scientist. I believe someone who actually performs scientific experimentation is a scientist. And people who, I would say, question traditional thinking would be like a philosopher, or abstract thought would be a philosopher. Not just someone who knows a lot about philosophy should make them a philosopher. A lawyer is someone who practices law, and a doctor is someone who practices medicine, which is becoming a fallacy in today's age, where many people are being looked upon as, I guess, kooks, when they are indeed practicing medicine in their own way, and they're having positive or negative results, and they're reporting them as such. But these people are not labeled as experts because they don't maybe have the right political affiliation. I can't exactly tell you on that. But I'll continue. All these subject experts did to become an expert was to learn the right kind of information about the subject that they are an expert in. Most of them did so by attending school. Ding, 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 academics. Most of them read books. That's could be anyone. There are times and situations in the past in which that was not true. Some experts, such as expert generals, gained their expertise from experience and personal training. It was also, with the general, they were weeded out, whereas most academic experts are not. Essentially, most academic experts cannot survive out of academia without essentially forcing the students to buy their crummy books that make no sense in order to buy their second and third house while they live on a bloated paycheck. But let us continue. These experts are not smarter or more intelligent than anyone else. They have 3 advantages. First, they have learned the material and understand the subject that they are discussing. Well, that's not exactly being shown. Whereas, if you understand the material or have learned it, and this is something that reminds me of Einstein. He was always speaking of most people learn and memorize something, yet they will never understand it. So they're only regurgitating someone else's points of view. They don't have their own, so it's just reliving old literature. That's it. So the understanding a subject is, I would say, rare in any field. Second, they are interested in the subject. That may or may not be true, because some people just choose something because it's an easy degree. Prime example, my friend. He chose philosophy as an easy degree, and these are his own words, because that's all I needed to be a teacher. So, he's an expert. He is, quote-unquote, a philosopher because he is an expert in philosophy, but I don't think he philosophizes about anything besides, getting his next paycheck and hopefully walking his dog. Very few people choose to become an expert only for the money. I think it's maybe. And those who are usually, and those who do are usually bad experts. Third, they know how the subject works. This is the key point here. It's the same thing with just about every scientific field or every practicing field. They know everybody, and they all say the same thing, even if they are all wrong together. What do I mean by this? Okay. Such as the coronavirus. All of these so-called experts, whether it be the WHO or what have you, they all came forward together and said blank about the coronavirus. Do you really believe that 1,000 people all have the exact same train of thought on any given thing and they're all experts in their field? No. Because science itself is the art and practice of disproving the experts. That's what the greatest teacher I've ever had, and he actually succeeded in the field of chemistry, taught me. So, if all these people have the same opinion, they're probably mistaken somewhere, and there's probably some coercion at work. Continuing. They know the various experts in their field, which is what leads me to what I just said. They know what sort of arguments are used in the field, and they know some of the history of their field. Well, if they only know some of the history of their field, they're not really experts. All of these things do not make someone smarter. Yeah, they make them educated. Educated people can be complete idiots. We see this every day when we read the news. Many people do not know how to reason correctly, especially when they come face an argument outside their expertise. They often misread their opponents. They often lack objectivity and are unwilling to admit their favored theories might be false. That's exactly the key point that I was trying to make earlier. Even if they are false, even if they are wrong, even if it's going to cost tons and tons of problems later, they will dig their heels in because they're just stubborn. They don't want to admit that they may be wrong. So being an expert is starting to sound like being an arrogant nihilist to me. And it continues, yet these are exact opposite of what a truly smart person would do. So, what they're breaking down here is that a majority of the people that we believe to be experts are stupid. If these reasons are not enough to consider that experts often back theories that no one believes today, Aristotle, who was an expert of his time on science, believed that the world was made of 4 elements: earth, air, fire, water. Of course. Galileo believed that tides are caused by the rotation of the earth. Well, that's not exactly incorrect. There's numerous factors that go into, the study of weather and all forms of, the magnetic energies between the moon and the earth. There's tons of things that go into that. Isaac Newton believed the practice of alchemy could turn lead into gold. Well, alchemy was a precursor to virtually all chemistry. And in the time of Isaac Newton, black magic was still practiced regularly. So you can't you can't really blame the guy for trying. I wish we could turn lead into gold. Kepler believed that astrology told the future. Oh, that sounds like a whole bunch of people in LA. Everybody loves their astrology in LA. All of these men are great astronomers and scientists, and all these beliefs are horribly wrong. That's not exactly true. In their time, they wrote, especially Aristotle, who in his time wrote of the world being composed of small elements. He couldn't have known about atoms because the technology to decipher and see those things was so far into the future that no one could really do that. The thing is, he understood that there are small things that build big things. That's true. While none of those beliefs were as obviously wrong as they are today, again, never mind. There was still reason to question them. The difference between their beliefs and the beliefs of others of their time is that they knew more, while the people of their time knew less. They were not smarter than anyone else. I beg to differ. I think Aristotle, Isaac Newton, Galileo, and Kepler were all brilliant. They were extremely accomplished people, and they led to countless theories which, again, led people to create the world that we now live in. So this is a little bit of a bias against the past, I would say, scientific minds. This is like saying, anyone in the past that said anything that was wrong was false, where a lot of what they said could and will be seen as leading to something greater, i.e. alchemy becoming chemistry. Alright, folks. I am the Teflon Man. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in a little while.